We have had this experience of immediate elections and early elections in the past as well. But in terms of the candidates, it's too early to guess. So you can name people like, for example, former parliamentary speaker Larijani, or former head of the Security Council Jalili, or mayor of Tehran Zakani. This incident happened after President Raisi and his delegation were moving from the Iranian border with Azerbaijan Republic to the city of Tabriz. It was actually a provincial visit, a normal routine of this president's programs to inaugurate some projects. They actually jointly opened the project with the president of the Azerbaijan Republic, Mr. Aliyev, and after that he was flying back to Tabriz to launch and inaugurate another project actually, where the unfortunate happen actually occurred, and we all witnessed that loss. It was just some assumptions and some rough guesses that were made according to the politics and the dynamics of power here in Iran. Since President Raisi has been in power and has been in the establishment from the very early years, he has been in different positions in judiciary, he has been in a religious section, he has been in the presidential section, executive branch. So because of this history and background, it could be a possibility. So no one could say for sure that he was a serious option. No one could say that actually. But there was some options, because he had all the criteria that was needed for being a leader, especially regarding the Islamic jurisprudence and Islamic actually religious requirements, and also political requirements and the favorability and popularity among the people and such things. So that was something that had made him a name to be mentioned in analysis and guesses from the people to people. In times of crisis, conspiracy theories are selling very well to the public opinion, and it can receive very clicks for the social media and web services and such things, and bring money actually to them. But you should consider them based on the reasoning and based on verification. There is no signs of such things. There's no signs of facts or reasons that we might consider it something that has happened, let's say supernaturally, or I don't know, from sabotage or foreign involvements, anything like that. We have had this experience of immediate elections and early elections in the past as well. So we had actually lost a president and prime minister in a terrorist attacks just a couple of years after the revolution. We had lost the supreme leader of Iran, and at that time, Mr. Ayatollah Khamenei was the president, and he then was appointed as the leader. So we had a vacancy in presidential role, and at that time again, immediately this election was held. So it's not something new to the political structure, and we have the structures, we have only guidelines. It's not going to be any big challenge to deal with. And we just had parliamentary elections, and the structure, the readiness, the preparedness are almost optimum right now. But in terms of the candidates, it's too early to guess. But anyway, it should be done in a couple of days, and they are actually there is time for registrations and candidacies. So you can name people like, for example, former parliamentary speaker Larijani, or former head of the Security Council Jalili, or mayor of Tehran Zakani, or let's say some other people that can be thought about. The first vice president right now, Mr. Mukhber, could be a choice. So there are several people. Current incumbent head of parliament speaker, Mr. Ghalibaf, should be actually a serious consideration, and some other people might be as well. In terms of domestic politics, it's going to unite the people more and decrease the polarity and polarization in the society. Now that he has demised and we have lost several top officials, people are uniting more because it's a national sorrow and it is some bad incident for the whole nation. People usually take the opportunity to support one another and to show solidarity to one another. So I would expect more unity among Iranians and less polarity. And that's the feeling and the mood that you can see from yesterday for the last 24 hours among the Iranian nation, on the streets, among the people in communities, everywhere you can see such feelings. There are some small number of people, especially diaspora outside Iran, that might be happy about that. But the majority inside Iran are showing sorrow for that. So it's going to help the domestic politics. And again, according to the constitution, right now, first vice president has taken the office as the interim president and he's handling everything. So there is not going to be any difficulties in that regard. In case of foreign policy, President Raisi and Prime Minister Amir Abdullahian were important figures for foreign policy, and their change of the priorities and tactics that they actually implemented was significant, and it won a lot of achievements compared to President Rouhani. So they put focus on the neighbors and the Muslim world and the countries of, let's say, resistance front, and also multilateral cooperations and coalitions like BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So these priorities were something that was successful. This incident happened, just as I said, after the opening of a joint project with Azerbaijan, a northern neighbor of Iran. A few weeks ago, President Raisi was in Pakistan and he received a significant welcome, brotherly welcome from the people in Pakistan, because he was focusing on improving the relations. He was supposed to be in Iraq, a western neighbor, in a couple of weeks, which now is not possible anymore, unfortunately. But this shows how he worked. So this is going to continue. I had in the news that the Pakistanis were among the first countries to announce a public mourning day. In that regard, it was significant to the Iranians. And it was viral on the news, and many Iranians are welcoming, and they are feeling this fraternity and brotherliness between Iran and Pakistan, which was not, it was ignored actually in the past. So these foreign policies and these changes in the foreign policy compared to the previous government is going to continue actually. And the main structure is actually the decisions are made by not only the president or the prime minister or the executive branch, other players are involved as well. So we have Supreme Security Council, we have some councils on foreign relations, we have the armed forces, and we have the Supreme Leader. So big decisions on foreign policy are made by the whole system, not only with one branch of power. So if we are supporting Palestinians, we have been supporting Palestinians for nearly 5 decades. It has been the main foreign policy of the whole system. If we decided to have nuclear negotiations in the previous government, it was the decision of the whole system, and the green light came from the whole system to allow President Rouhani or Mr. Zarif to do the negotiations. So main foreign policies and most important ones are made collectively according to the whole system of the establishment, and the minor decisions or the priorities or the tactics are something that the executive branch is responsible for and can be influential in that. That with the success that President made in the last 3 years, I just gave the example of Pakistan. Let's remember the example of Saudi Arabia and the rapprochement that happened with them. So with those successes and achievements, the next president, whoever from whichever the camp it would be, he needs to continue the same line, and he needs to actually continue improvement of the relations with them.
थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग द फुल वीडियो। आप में से बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने शायद हमारा यूट्यूब चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया। सो इफ़ यू वांट टू सपोर्ट इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिज्म एंड वॉच मोर मीनिंगफुल कंटेंट, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल।